Today, European approvals in follicular lymphoma and melanoma, pivotal phase 3 findings and a rolling submission in non-small cell lung cancer, and disappointing results in a phase 2 non-Hodgkin lymphoma trial. Welcome to Enclave News Network. I'm Gina Columbus. In follicular lymphoma, the European Commission has approved obinutuzumab for use in combination with bendamustine, followed by maintenance obinutuzumab. The indication is for patients who are refractory to or progress on rituximab or rituximab-containing regimen. The decision was based on findings from the phase 3 Gadolin trial, in which obinutuzumab and bendamustine, followed by single-agent obinutuzumab, reduced the risk of disease progression by 52% versus bendamustine alone. By independent review, the median progression-free survival was not yet reached in the obinutuzumab arm, compared with 13.8 months in the control arm. Through investigator assessment, the median PFS was 29.2 months in the obinutuzumab arm versus 13.7 months in the control arm. At a 24.1-month follow-up, there was a 38% reduction in the risk of death with obinutuzumab versus bendamustine alone. In the United States, the FDA approved the combination of obinutuzumab and bendamustine followed by obinutuzumab alone in February 2016 for the treatment of patients with follicular lymphoma who relapse after or are refractory to a rituximab-containing regimen. Obinutuzumab is also approved in the United States and the European Union for use in combination with chlorambucil as a first-line treatment for patients with chronic lymphocytic leukemia. Ariad Pharmaceuticals has initiated a rolling submission of a new drug application to the FDA for brigatinib for the treatment of patients with advanced ALK-positive non-small cell lung cancer who are resistant to prior crizotinib. The submission was allowed as part of an FDA Breakthrough Therapy designation granted in October 2014, which was based on phase 2 results of the ALTA trial. In the study, the confirmed objective response rate for brigatinib at 180 milligrams was 54%, while the median progression-free survival was 12.9 months. The disease control rate at 180 milligrams was 86%, and the one-year overall survival rate was 80%. In those with measurable active brain metastases, the intracranial overall response rate with the 180 milligram dose was 67%, and the intracranial disease control rate was 83%. Ariad plans to complete the rolling submission within the third quarter of 2016. Once the submission is complete, the FDA will assign a review timeline within 60 days. Ariad has requested a priority review from the FDA, under which the agency would provide a decision within 6 months rather than the standard 10-month review. Also, in non-small cell lung cancer, frontline treatment with pembrolizumab was found to improve overall survival compared with chemotherapy in patients with high levels of PD-L1 expression in the phase 3 KEYNOTE-024 trial. In the study, pembrolizumab was also shown to extend progression-free survival in the first-line NSCLC setting. Based on the findings, an independent panel recommended that the trial be halted and that patients in the chemotherapy arm be allowed to cross over to receive the anti-PD-1 agent. Additionally, the safety data for pembrolizumab in the study were found to be similar to previously reported outcomes. Prior findings from the phase 1 KEYNOTE-001 study showed that treatment-naive patients with PD-L1 expression greater than or equal to 50% had an overall response rate of 50% with pembrolizumab. The median PFS was 12.5 months in these patients. Merck, the manufacturer of pembrolizumab, plans to submit complete results from the KEYNOTE-024 trial at an upcoming medical conference. In a statement, Dr. Roger M. Perlmutter, president of Merck Research Laboratories, said, "We believe that the KEYNOTE-024 results have the potential to change the therapeutic paradigm in first-line treatment of non-small cell lung cancer. We look forward to sharing these data with the medical community and with regulatory authorities around the world." The PI3K delta gamma inhibitor duvelisib had an overall response rate of 46% in patients with indolent non-Hodgkin lymphoma in the phase 2 Dynamo study, which met the trial's primary endpoint. However, the results did not meet investor expectations, which were set by the performance of idelalisib, a PI3K delta inhibitor approved as a single agent for patients with NHL in July 2014. The study examined 129 patients with NHL, which included small lymphocytic leukemia, follicular lymphoma, and marginal zone lymphoma, with overall response rates of 68%, 41%, and 33% respectively. In a statement, Adeline Perkins, President and Chief Executive Officer at Infinity, the developer of duvelisib, said, "While the Dynamo study met its primary endpoint, we hoped that treatment with duvelisib as a monotherapy would have provided a larger clinical benefit for patients with advanced indolent non-Hodgkin lymphoma, a difficult-to-treat disease. We plan to seek feedback from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration to determine our next steps with respect to duvelisib in indolent non-Hodgkin lymphoma." Due to the Dynamo results, the long-term outlook for duvelisib was adjusted, and studies exploring the agent in combination with venetoclax were paused. In melanoma, the National Institute for Health and Care Excellence has approved the combination of nivolumab and ipilimumab for patients with metastatic disease. This approval allows the combination to be used within the National Health Service, the publicly funded healthcare system for England. This decision comes just 2 months following a positive recommendation from the Committee for Medicinal Products for Human Use and 1 month following an approval from the European Commission. The decision was based upon a collection of data from the CheckMate 067 and 069 studies. In CheckMate 067, the combination demonstrated a 58% reduction in the risk of progression or death versus ipilimumab monotherapy in previously untreated patients with advanced melanoma. The objective response rate with the combination was 58% versus 19% with ipilimumab, and the median duration of response with the combination was not yet met. In the CheckMate 069 study, the combination of nivolumab and ipilimumab reduced the risk of progression or death by 60% when compared with ipilimumab alone. The ORR was 61% with the combination versus 11% with ipilimumab alone in patients with BRAF wild-type advanced melanoma. The estimated 12-month OS rate with the combination was 79% versus 62% with ipilimumab alone. At 18 months, the OS rate was 73% with the combination versus 56% with ipilimumab. In the United States, the combination of ipilimumab and nivolumab has already been approved for patients with advanced melanoma. That's all for today. Thank you for watching Enclave News Network. I'm Gina Columbus.